All right, folks, let's dive into a topic that's been stirring the pot for a while now. Why do Americans specifically seem to have this enduring fear of Africa? I'm not talking about malaria or wild animals here. I'm talking about something deeper, more ingrained. First, let's rewind a bit. The narrative of Africa in Western media has long been plagued by images of conflict, poverty, and disease. Remember the 1980s Save the Children campaigns? Those haunting images of starving kids? Yeah, they left a mark. But that's not the whole story. Economically, Africa's been booming. Countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa are becoming tech hubs, but with economic growth comes competition. And competition can be scary, right? Americans are used to being the top dog, so when other regions start catching up, it can feel like a threat. There's also a historical angle. Colonialism left deep scars. The West exploited Africa's resources for centuries, and now there's this underlying fear of retribution. What if the tables turn? What if Africa rises and demands justice? Let's not forget the media. Hollywood and news outlets often portray Africa as a monolithic disaster zone. Movies, TV shows, and even news stories focus on warlords, epidemics, and corruption. These are real issues, sure, but they're not the whole picture. Yet, they dominate the narrative and shape perceptions. Another layer, racial dynamics. The US has its own complicated history with race, and Africa is often viewed through this lens. There's an unspoken anxiety about the power dynamics shifting. What happens when African nations become stronger players on the global stage? It's a question that unsettles some folks. Now let's talk politics. Modern geopolitics play a role too. The rise of China in Africa, for example, has made the West nervous. China's investing billions building infrastructure and forging alliances. This challenges Western influence and adds to the fear of losing control. So what's the real reason Americans fear Africa today? It's a mix of outdated stereotypes, economic competition, historical guilt, racial anxieties, and geopolitical shifts. It's complex, nuanced, and often misunderstood, but understanding it is the first step towards changing it. Thanks for tuning in and keep questioning the narratives.